Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for your June 2023 Tarotscope. In the description box below, you will find links to all sorts of goodies. There will also be a timestamp for you in the description box if you would like to jump to the start of your reading. But please do remember that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading, so only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. We are going to be taking a look at what you've healed or learned over the past 6 months, what you are moving away from this month, what you're moving closer to this month, and where the next 6 months could be taking you. We are also going to be getting a theme song or songs for you to give a little bit more insight to the month. I would encourage you to check out these songs in their entirety if you feel called to do so, as there may be more messages there for you. So Pisces, let's dive in. I also have to share that I'm pretty sure that yours is the only reading for this month that I've had to attempt to start several times. So I do feel like there are some blocked energies that you may be working with or working through this month. And I do feel like there's something that maybe bringing forward some confusion. Okay, so take that as it resonates. We may get more on that as we dive into the reading, but I just felt like I needed to share that with you. Okay, so Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves. What has Pisces healed or learned over the past 6 months, please? What has Pisces healed or learned over the past 6 months, please? Okay, thank you. What is Pisces moving away from this month, June 2023, please? What is Pisces moving away from, please? There we are. Thank you. What is Pisces moving closer to this month, June 2023, please? Okay. And where could the next 6 months be taking Pisces, please? Where could the next 6 months be taking Pisces? All right. Let's get some clarity. What have you healed or learned over the past 6 months? Let's get some more on that for Pisces, please. What has Pisces healed or learned over the past 6 months? Okay, thank you. Tell us more about what Pisces is moving away from this month. Tell us more, please, about what Pisces is moving away from this month. Okay, thank you. Tell us more, please, about what Pisces is moving closer to this month. Tell us more, please, about what Pisces is moving closer to. How... Actually, okay, I know this is odd, but I feel like it's these here and not the ones that fell. So that's really strange, but it is what it is. And I always do what I feel guided to. So tell us more, please, about where the next 6 months could be taking Pisces. That's too many cards. Nice clear message, please. Tell us more about where the next 6 months could be taking Pisces. There it is. Thank you. And what song or songs have messages for Pisces? Okay. There it is. Let's This one too, I'm feeling. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so what have you healed or learned over the past 6 months, Pisces? You do have past showing up here. It says, through the power of love, you release any stagnant situations or energy in order to transform your heart space. So here's the thing. I feel like you are learning from your past experiences. I do feel like for some of you, you've been shown where you have limited yourself in the past, where you have, what is the word I'm looking for? Sabotage. Thank you. Where you've sabotaged yourself in the past, or where past experiences have bled into some of your, I don't want to say your current circumstances, right? Because we're looking at the past 6 months, but I feel like you could be gaining clarity or awareness on where things that happened in your past have bled into other circumstances that have had nothing to do with your past. Again, it's that sabotaging type of energy that I feel coming through. And for some of you, I feel like you've been working on healing these things over the past 6 months, releasing them, finding clarity about them, or gaining some kind of footing on them. Because I do feel like there's this heavy energy of past experiences having control of some kind. Okay, let's see what we have. The Sun in the reverse. So this is an energy of negativity, depression, sadness, lack of joy, right? It can be the inability to see the good things. And I feel like this is potentially maybe how the past has, how would I say, polluted your experiences, because you could have had good things going, whether that be a job, a relationship, a living situation, a friendship, whatever it is, right? You could have had good things going, but I feel like that past, has reared its ugly head, as it were, and prevented you from seeing the good. Which, I mean, to be quite honest, a lot of times this can show up by us projecting our own things onto our experiences or onto other people. It's that kind of as within, so without, as above, so below. So if we are dealing with certain things within ourselves, oftentimes it's kind of interesting how it works, right? Because we'll be going along and we'll feel just fine, or we'll feel really happy or something. And then all of a sudden something will happen and we'll plummet. And when that happens, there can be situations, it's like I don't even know how to explain it, but we like blame the other person, when in reality there's something within us that's been triggered, something within us that is brought to the surface and we don't know how to deal with it. So I feel like this could have been something that had taken place for you, where maybe your past experiences has prevented you from seeing good things in your life as they were. Okay. Yeah, wow, you have the Lovers here as well. So again, I was getting that energy of like relationships. I do feel like this could have impacted your views on love, your experiences with love. And I do feel like these are things that you've been healing over the past 6 months, or becoming aware of over the past 6 months, seeing how your past, or your inability to see good things, has, I would say, caused you to make choices that were, I feel like it was like based in conflict or something. Or you could have ended relationships around this. You do have these two major arcana out here. So I do feel like the last 6 months has been an opportunity of great growth for you. Again, the Lovers in reverse is this kind of disharmony, imbalance. It can be conflict in relationships, right? So I do feel that your past has created, I feel, some self-sabotaging experiences in relationships, likely. It could also be that it's affected your ability to make choices. Your views on love, even. Okay, so I feel like over the past 6 months, you've been shown this, or God, source, universe, spirit, whatever you refer to it as, has been trying to show these things to you, right? It has been trying to bring them forward. So the thing about the Lovers is that um, it is Gemini energy. Okay, it's represented, or the representation of Gemini in the tarot. And Gemini energy is very much that communicative energy. It is very much, well, it's ruled by Mercury as well, which is our thinking processes, our ability to communicate, our connectedness as well, is a Gemini trait. So I feel that I don't know how to explain it. It just really, Pisces, it just really feels like you've been shown where your past has impacted your ability to see the good things, to experience pleasure and true joy and happiness and find success, likely in relationships specifically. But certainly being shown how the past has impacted your choices, has impacted, again, your relationships and your overall look on life. The sun is a archetypal representation of the inner child, and it's in the reverse. So it's essentially created this stress, this weight for you, right? Again, it's like that depressive, negative energy. So I feel like these are things that you've been working on, learning about, or seeing over the past 6 months, and maybe healing. I'm actually getting kind of this empty kind of feeling, and even a bit of lightheadedness. I'm also getting fear coming up. So I feel that for some of you, I feel like these realizations have maybe left you feeling a little bit empty, even a little bit sick, I'm getting. And I do feel like for some of you, there's been these fears that have been brought up by this around, what have I, like, I'm getting these questions like, what have I done? Like, is that really what I wanted? So again, take it as it resonates with you. You also have kindness here. You are a pardon me, here when we're looking at what you're moving away from, this month you have kindness. It says you are a humanitarian, made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. I do feel like there's something here about moving away from, okay, so let me back up just a little bit. Okay, because I got a little bit disoriented, which has not happened to me really so much throughout these readings. So I do feel like what you've learned, I feel like it has kind of left you feeling like a little bit lost. I'm going to be quite honest. And then I also feel that this month, it's like, what are you moving away from? I feel like it's, how do I say this? Because I feel like at heart, you are this sensitive, compassionate individual. Okay. And I feel like some of the things that you may have done in the past have not aligned with that. Okay. I feel like it's portrayed you as maybe somebody who is insensitive, or is unkind, or who, how, I don't know how to explain this. It just really feels like moving away from the things that do not align with the truth of who you are, because I feel like you've been shown how some of the things from your past have impacted your experience, right? And I feel that it's shown you where you haven't been in alignment with your truth and what you really like what you really know to be about yourself. Because I feel there's part of you that maybe got a bit hidden or buried by things from your past. And so it seems to me, what I'm feeling is you're moving away from the things that aren't in alignment with that compassion, that love, that kindness. Okay? That's how this is coming through. Because I feel like it's about trying to get back to who you really are. Wow, yeah, you have the Tower here. I mean, so let me just say here, Pisces, you have all major arcana out here from the get. And so I do feel like this is really this I feel like this could have been, I mean, the past 6 months could have been rough for you as well, but I feel like June is just trying to bring through even more of that transformation. Again, like I was saying, I feel like you may have felt a bit lost, and that Tower showing up says as much, because I feel like it feels to me like your foundations have been shaken. Okay? It feels to me like there's been some upheaval that's happened. Um I don't know how to explain it. You could have even been, how would I say this? Your past experience could have even been masquerading as pride. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's almost as if those past things that actually caused you, like carrying them around, caused you even more pain, even more suffering. It feels like you could have hid that behind pride, if that makes any sense. And I feel that learning this about yourself, right, could be putting you in this position this month to move away from the things that have prevented you from making the changes that you've needed to make. I really hope this is making sense, because that Tower it is the destruction of illusion. It is the shifting of paradigms. It is breakthroughs. It is challenging these outdated beliefs. And I feel like you're moving away from the things that have prevented you from making those changes, that have prevented you from being who you truly are, which is this being who is kind and made up of love. And also somebody who enjoys people, which is interesting. I mean, as a sign that is very intuitive and often seen as a mystical, I feel like there is that kind of helping type of energy, but I feel like for some of you, um, for whatever reason, you may have adopted this kind of like loner energy or something. And I feel like you're getting back to that, oh, like actually that connectedness, or moving away from the idea that you're meant to be alone or something. But again, I feel like this is a super transformative time for you, because I mean, look at, there are butterflies there. We have the squirrel and there are acorns, and for me that is an indicator of gathering information, or that things have come together to show you a different perspective that can be helpful in your transformation. Let's see what you're moving closer to. Yeah, you have forgiveness here. And here, I do feel like this is forgiveness for yourself and your experiences with others, and even forgiving others as themselves. You are now able to activate the power of love in order to release past hurts. So again, I mean, there's a lot of energy showing up here around your past, around these things coming to the forefront, around remedying them or healing them, releasing them, becoming the alchemist, right? Finding forgiveness for yourself, really creating some authentic healing, finding some sense of wholeness, if you will. And I feel that you're moving closer to that, um, allowing, again, I feel like a big part of this is actually you allowing this forgiveness, especially for yourself, Pisces, especially for yourself. Because here's the thing. Every single sign, Pritneer, has been about essentially addressing the negative or shadow aspects, the lower frequencies of ourselves. And it's shown up as those shadow aspects of our signs, and moving more into the positive or the light, or the higher aspects of ourselves, of our signs, right? So one of the shadow aspects, if you will, of Pisces can be a kind of self-pitying energy. It can be unrealistic. It can be escapist, um, and it can be, I feel in some sense of the word, like submissive to its own creations, if that makes any sense. Okay. And there can also be this codependent type of energy on maybe things that maybe haven't been that great for you, right? I don't know if this looks like addictions, or maybe not so good people or circles, or just things that haven't been serving you, ways of being, behaviors that haven't been serving you. And I feel like there's this energy of moving out of that, right? Because again, there can be this like self-pitying type of energy, and I feel like there's this need for you to find forgiveness versus sitting in that energy, right, forgiving yourself. And I feel like this is really big for you, Pisces, and what you're moving closer to. But of course, it takes that allowing and giving yourself that love, the ability to be able to like hold yourself while you move through that energy. You have here the Six of Cups. Yeah. I mean, this is moving on. Okay. The Six of Cups is this energy of like nostalgia. As you can see here, there's also this journey from child to man, that growing up, as it were. And I feel like with it showing up here, it's indicating that you're moving closer to being able to move on from that, from the past, moving forward from the past, finding independence from it, I feel, releasing it, letting it go. And for some of you, I feel like the past has been quite something for you, right? Painful, quite painful for you. So I feel like being able to find that forgiveness and to move on from it is going to be incredibly powerful and healing for you if you allow yourself to do it. You do have the Queen of Pentacles here. I feel like this is also going to bring you some security in who you are, or some sense of security in who you are, some kind of comfort in who you are as well. This Queen of Pentacles here is, I mean, yeah, here's the thing. I also feel like this could provide for you like a trustworthiness in yourself, right? I feel like it can nurture who you truly are again and bring you some sense of comfort in that. It's a very interesting energy, actually. um, but I do feel like I need to share though, as you're moving closer to this forgiveness energy and allowing yourself to move on, there is a need here to be very patient with yourself, right? Because it's very difficult for us to leave our comfort zones, and as much as we don't like to admit it, sometimes our trauma and our wounding and our survival techniques that we've adapted in order to be able to deal with them, um, have provided us with some kind of comfort zone. Okay, it's like we've been in them so long, we don't know how to be outside of it. We've learned that it's helped us to survive, and so we just kind of get comfortable in them. And I do feel like, there's a need for you to be patient with yourself as you move through that energy, because it's likely to be quite uncomfortable. Okay. You also have, wow, you have the Queen of Cups here also. I mean, so, this I feel is about remaining grounded while dealing with your emotions, while experiencing your emotions, while allowing them. Both of these queens have their eyes closed, right? So I feel like it's about getting comfortable, without, how would I say, seeing the endings, the outcomes. without controlling the outcomes. I also feel like there's some sense of here, or some sense here, with getting comfortable with sitting in your emotions, with bringing them into the physical. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very psychic, very loving, very tender. Okay. Also very, and it's another comfort energy, which I find very fascinating because both of these queens have something to do with comfort. So I do feel like you're moving into a space where it may feel uncomfortable to do, but I feel like you will feel more at ease when you get there, if that makes any sense. Um, and again, I just feel like there's this need to be very nurturing to yourself, very loving, very tender, and allow yourself to trust what you feel within you, right? Because again, cups are about feelings and emotions. It's about your intuition as well, and love and relationships, which, you know, it is kind of a repeat, has been a little bit repetitive here for you. So, you know, I feel like there's something here about that as well. And again, take it as it resonates, right? You may have experienced discomfort in relationships or struggled in relationships, especially when it comes to love. Um, but I feel you're moving closer to finding comfort in these things, should you allow yourself the ability to move through them. I mean, look at both of these women are very relaxed, very comfortable, right? There's nothing like defensive or or anything of that nature. And I feel like this is something that maybe you're learning for some of you. Again, take it as it resonates, of course. Leave what does not. Where could the next 6 months take you? You have evolution here, pardon me. So yeah, if you allow it, and that was, I mean, very much what I was, you know, saying, because you have these three major arcana out here and this indication of moving forward from the past and finding forgiveness. And I do feel like through these, or rather through acknowledging these things, the what you know to be true about yourself and what you've been uncovering, there is a beautiful opportunity here, for evolution. It says you realize that obstacles are merely lessons on your path to love, right? So everything that you've experienced has been for you. And I want to lovingly say that every single sign has gotten a similar energy. Almost every sign has gotten this card specifically, but in some position or another. But every single sign has had this energy of evolving or elevating, right? And this understanding that everything that we experience is for us to do exactly that. But it's important for us to be truthful with ourselves and align with what we know within us, because it's very much about that sovereignty, that prioritizing of our truth, our deepest truth, the truth within our heart, the truth within our soul, and aligning with that. So again, I mean, it does say, right? These are lessons on your path to love. And I do feel like this is about you loving yourself, Pisces, certainly. But also about loving others, opening yourself up to that, and not fearing the outcomes, because they are all lessons, whatever they look like. And I do feel here, I mean, we have this, you know, green heart chakra energy with evolution here. And I want to lovingly say that the only means by which we are able to spiritualize, that we are able to truly evolve, is through our heart. End of story. The only way we can evolve is through purifying our heart. And I do feel like this is where you are being led. Now, whether you acknowledge that and act on that is, of course, your decision. But it is there available for you. To clarify, yeah, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This could be bringing you new opportunities. The ability for a new beginning, to plant seeds of what you really want to experience, what you want to last. Because as you move through the Pentacles energy, okay, and you do have another, the Queen out here as well. But as you move through the Pentacles energy, right, as you reach, let's say, the Ten of Pentacles, that is often the card of like a happy life, happy family, happy house, happy life, right? Because it's a culmination of all of the seeds that you've planted and cultivated throughout your journey. Everything coming together beautifully. So much so that you have a legacy to leave behind, right? So this is what is open and available to you. Should you allow, right? Should you find forgiveness? Should you allow yourself to transform through forgiveness and through releasing your past, through aligning with love and who you truly are, which is indeed love at the end of the day. So the songs for you, your theme songs for this month are I'll Find You, which there have been several signs that have gotten this card as well. I'll Find You, Lecrae featuring Tori Kelly. No, don't let the fear make you feel like you can't fight this on your own. You know I'll be there for you no matter where you go. You'll never be alone. So I do feel for you that, again, there is this acknowledgement of the fact that this is challenging. Okay, facing ourselves, facing our fears is crazy hard. It's not impossible, but it is crazy hard. And there is this need to have something else that you can hold on to. And a lot of times that something else is faith, whatever that looks like. If it's belief in God for you, fine. If it's spirit or source or some kind of deity or just morals and principles, fine. But it has to be something bigger than this earthly experience, at least in many cases, right? So, and I do feel that there is something here about the opportunity being available for you, like an open door, if you will, from God. Like the door's always open. God never turns its back on you, ever. And I just looked up and we were at 3333, which 3 is first of all about growth, number 1. Number 2, it is also about faith. It is also in the sense of the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It is also like the Jesus number, which is wild that that's what we're talking about. And I happened to look up and there it was. Okay, so I do feel like there is that opportunity for you through Christ. And I'm not talking about dogmatic religion Christ. That's not who I'm talking about. Okay? That's not what I'm talking about at all. And I'm not talking about church either, or organized religion at all. Okay, I'm talking about like Christ consciousness and Christ, the being who was filled with love. Okay. You may want to, do some research on esoteric Christianity or the Christ impulse as shared by people like Rudolf Steiner and anthroposophy. because that's more what I'm referring to. But I feel like this is an acknowledgement of, there are going to be fears that are going to come up, and they are going to challenge you. But understand that you can overcome them, and should you choose, you don't have to do it alone. Because there's some aspect of this that feels like maybe for some of you, perhaps, you have this mentality of needing to do things on your own, or I can only rely on myself, or something. Okay. You also have here Murder to the Mind by Tosh Sultana. And I've shared this with the other groups that this has come up for, or the other signs, pardon me, that this has come up for, because this card has come out several times as well. That in an interview, Tosh shared that this song was about her essentially overcoming her ego. Okay. And the ego is that thing that is essentially our trauma, our wounding. It is our addictions. It is, those things that have control over us or restrict us. Okay. So it says here, but I was thinking about how to do this, pardon me. Trying to find myself, I emerge from my foggiest. 6 months sober. I don't know where the time has gone. So, again, there's that hint here at, addictions and maybe things that aren't incredibly good for you coming out. But I do feel like the biggest thing about this card, I feel, is saying, how do I word this? I feel like as you release methods of survival and means of survival that you've utilized, as you release the past, as you release these belief systems that are outdated, and as you challenge them, I feel like this is coming out to let you know that it's going to feel weird AF. Like, it's going to feel really strange, right? It's going to feel like you're walking around in a fog or a haze, because you've lived with those things for so long that it feels weird to not be carrying them. Okay. And actually, I'm also, this is not a song that is on a card in this deck, but I'm actually also hearing in my head the song Happy by NF. You may want to look into that song as well. It's a really, really fantastic song. NF is fantastic anyways. He's brilliant, and his songs have such power to them. But I do feel you may want to look into that song, because essentially what he's talking about is that he's struggled with things that he's carried for so long that he doesn't know if he will like what it feels like to not have them. Right? Like if he'll be okay with feeling happy. Or it's almost like being afraid of what that might feel like, because you've carried all of these things with you for so long that you know nothing else. And you wonder if you'll even feel like yourself when you start to feel happy. And I feel like that may be relevant for you, or for some of you. So you may want to look into that. But that is what I have for you, Pisces, for the month of June. Based on what I'm seeing here, you have this beautiful opportunity to really step into a different way of being, and experience life with a much more open heart, from a space of comfort in your own being, and finding love and compassion, and being okay with feeling those things, not only as you give them, but as you receive them as well. I pray that something here has been helpful for you, or valuable for you in some way, shape, or form. If you've found that something here has resonated, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting below, or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow by telling YouTube that there may be something valuable or informative here for someone else. So I truly appreciate you doing so. I pray that you are able to see the truth of who you are, Pisces. I pray that you're able to see what a beautiful, magnificent, loving, compassionate being you are, and that you are able to find joy and happiness and comfort in simply being exactly who you are, and that over the next 6 months, you are able to release the things that have held you back from experiencing that previously, and that you're able to plant seeds and really grow something beautiful for yourself that is long lasting, that you can cultivate and love and enjoy. Take care of your beautiful, loving soul. Peace be with you and within you. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.